Welcome to Tile and Cork. We are Amy and Josh, and we moved from Austin, Texas to Lisbon, Portugal last year with our 2 kids. We're here sharing our experiences moving abroad with you. If you are interested in moving abroad or life in Lisbon or anything like that, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date with all of our videos. And we are also on Instagram at Tile and Cork, so you can follow us there too. Okay, so today's video, we are covering the neighborhood of Alcântara. I think that's how you say it?
Alcântara.
Yeah, we already have a video for like families, if you're moving here with your family. We do have a video on top neighborhoods for families that you can check out. But we wanted to do a really deep dive into a lot of the neighborhoods here in Lisbon. So today we're covering Alcântara. Alcântara.
Alcântara. And they're all, all the neighborhoods are different. Lisbon is a big city with these different neighborhoods, and not just different in culture or architecture. They're all geographically, they do feel different.
Yeah.
Architecturally, they feel different.
And I think your experience in Lisbon can be different depending on what neighborhood you live in. So
absolutely.
So let's talk about where Alcântara is.
Where is it?
So it's
Western Lisbon.
It's Western Lisbon.
If you look at a map or experiencing the city, I think the big demarcation line is the bridge, the big bridge that goes from Lisbon over across the river
to Almada. So
sure.
I think so. Alcântara kind of straddles it, so it's a little bit on both sides of the bridge, but I feel like if you look at a map, it's mostly on the west side of the bridge with parts on the east side of the bridge. Yeah,
the bridge is a defining feature. I mean, you can see in videos that we have that and pictures, it's a monster. And and you may not know it's there because it is so high up.
Yeah, so. And hey, you know what we haven't mentioned yet? Let's talk about why we're talking about this neighborhood in the first place.
Okay, why?
Well, we lived in this neighborhood. So for our first 1.5-ish months here in Lisbon, we were staying in this neighborhood. So we got experience of what it was like to live here on a day-to-day basis. So we got to know points in the neighborhood, walk around with our kids.
We got to know people in the neighborhood.
Yeah, and so it was
restaurants.
So it was really fun. So we're going to cover, now that we've talked about where the neighborhood is and why we're covering it, we're going to go into some more details. So if you're thinking of moving here or visiting, you know what it's like. Okay, so we always like to talk about the vibe of places.
Yeah, since it's kind of outside of the downtown center.
Yeah.
It's more populated by locals, not so many tourists. There is a couple of tourist attractions, but one of them is LX Factory.
Yeah.
Which is these cool shops and restaurants, all within an enclosed space. It's outdoors, but it's enclosed and close to the bridge too, that you'll see a lot of tourists in.
Yeah, around that area, kind of heading to LX Factory, like you'll see a lot of like Ubers, Bolts, like dropping off right by LX Factory. Right. But outside of that, it doesn't, like the neighborhood itself doesn't really feel touristy to me at all.
And it could be that the fact that it was the first place we moved to, and we didn't really speak any Portuguese, but it did feel like it was a very Portuguese neighborhood, not a lot of English spoken, but we got by just fine.
Yeah, I would say, it feels like very residential, like great Portuguese architecture mixed in with like a little bit like of modern architecture too.
The streets are very angular. All the angles just really interesting. The buildings are all different. I kind of thought that's what all of Lisbon would be like when we first moved there, but it really has the architecture and feel all its own.
Yeah, and you get some staircases in the neighborhood too, which is kind of nice, and lots of hills, staircases, but not to some levels of some areas of Lisbon, but you definitely get some hills in this neighborhood.
Yeah, it was hard, I'd say, when we first moved there.
And we were carrying kids a lot of times too, up and down the hill, so and groceries and
But also a lot of tree-lined streets, some great restaurants.
Yeah.
One good park.
Yeah. So let's talk about the attractions of this neighborhood, kind of like what is in this neighborhood. If you're living here, visiting, like outside of just your day-to-day life, what's there to see?
Well, there's the Caras Museum, which is the company that operates the trains and buses have their own historic museum.
Yeah, we never made it there, and we haven't made it there yet. But I hear there's like some old
I know,
historical
hard to
trams and
believe.
stuff. But the good thing is too, like as part of the Karis Museum, there is like the Karis Loja, the Karis shop, where you can go and get like sign up for Metro passes and stuff.
Yes.
So that's really helpful, especially if you're new to Lisbon and that's
Hmm.
something you need to check off on your list.
Yeah, and get them even same day.
Yeah, we got ours the same day.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then, I mean, like Josh mentioned, LX Factory is kind of in this neighborhood too. So that's kind of one of the biggest tourist attractions in this neighborhood, probably.
Hmm.
And so,
Great shops.
yeah,
We recently, climbed the stairs to a rooftop bar
yeah,
that I didn't have high hopes for, no pun intended, but we got there and it was a lovely area with great drinks,
yeah.
great staff.
But I think, yeah, maybe we'll have to do a whole video on LX Factory sometimes because that's, it's a whole thing to go see and a big tourist attraction. So,
Hmm.
but let's see, what else is in the neighborhood?
Well, again, you can walk to the water. There's a Michelin star restaurant that's
Yeah, that's
tucked
right.
away there too. It's a tiny little place.
Yeah, I can't remember the name, but yeah, we walked by it many times and
Hmm.
saw the Michelin stars.
And I think, our last visit, we just went to check it out again. And along with playground for the kids, there's really like a great tree-lined street that has great places to eat,
Yeah, I can't. It's
cafes. There's some
Louis
great viewpoints as well.
Louis Como. I'm not sure how to say it, but that's the name of the tree lined street.
Ah.
And then there's the what is it, Santo Amaro, like Miradoro, which is like right next to this beautiful old church. I looked it up recently. I can't remember if it was from the 14th century, 15th century. It's old.
And it's tiny.
And it's tiny, but beautiful.
Yeah.
And then, as Josh mentioned, there's the park with like the kind of the square with like the playground and a kiosk next to
What's
it.
the name of that park?
Brotello?
Brotello.
We can't remember the names exactly, but and then I think another attraction which we never visited, but there's the I don't even know how to say it, but Pistana Palace, like the hotel that we saw this last time.
Right.
And so that I think like is a fancy
Is that
hotel.
also the museum one? No.
I don't know.
Okay.
And the other thing that is in this neighborhood is Monsanto Park, which is I think it's a national park here in Portugal.
Right.
I hope that's correct. But it kind of like I think the part of it is considered to be part of this neighborhood. So
Big green area, hilly,
Yeah.
lots of hiking. You can get lost in there.
a great playground for kids.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously, if you're living in this area, you want to know what kind of food you can find in this area, what restaurants are there. So I think on that main tree-lined street, you have a lot of options.
Yeah, there's pastelerias, there's cafeterias like you see all over, but we found a great Asian noodle
yeah.
place.
Yeah, new.
There's also a lot of sushi
Yes.
in the area as well, which makes sense because we're right by the ocean. There's lots of fresh seafood.
And like there's a few pizza places in the area. I mean, there's on that main tree line street, there's a place called Armazem, which we went to quite a bit with the kids because they really like that pizza.
And I think of all the pizza places we've tried, I think that 80% of them use wood burning ovens.
Yeah, that one does.
To make their pizzas. So a lot of places use wood burning ovens, and it makes a big difference.
Yeah, and I mean, there's I feel like there's
great
a lot of options.
gelado ice cream shops.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that make their own ice cream.
Lots of coffee shops. Like, I mean, I feel like you can find most food in that area. Like,
Very international.
yeah. So lots of great restaurant options. I think both on the east and west side of the bridge.
Even grocery shopping. There's lots of little markets as well as some bigger ones.
Yeah, grocery shopping is very important. So
Yeah.
So if you're living there, yeah, I think like all the little ones are nice, but the big ones in the area.
Usually you can eat there.
Yeah, there's the Little, which is right
There's
under
Pingo.
the bridge, and then the Pingo, which is on the east side of the bridge.
Mhm.
Yeah, the little markets, there's a lot of them, so those are everywhere. So yeah, very, very accessible to grocery stores. All right, so let's talk about like actually visiting and living here. I think if you're visiting here, like there are, short-term rentals in the area, but also A lot of people love to book Hyatts because they can use their Hyatt points, and there's a Hyatt Regency really close to the area. So if you were interested in staying in this area, the Hyatt is very close.
It's beautiful too.
It is, yeah. Okay, and if you're wanting to live in the neighborhood, you're probably wondering about schools. So I would say, like, if you're wanting to send your kids to public Portuguese school, then obviously there's a lot of options in this neighborhood, and there's also some private schools in the area if that's more what you want to do. And there is, I think, one international school in the area that just opened called the Lisbon. It's right by the Pingo that's in the neighborhood. So if you're looking for an international option for your kids, that might be one you want to look at.
Yeah, especially if your kids are older.
Yeah.
A lot of in their mid or late teens, a lot of
parents
send them to an international school.
Yeah.
Well, what if you get hurt?
Well, if you get hurt, luckily there is, I think, both a public and a private hospital right in this area. So you have easy access to those if you live in this neighborhood.
Yeah, if you fall off a rooftop bar.
Yeah.
We'd say one of the downsides would be transportation. There is no metro line that goes out there.
Yeah.
There's a train, there's a trolley, an old-fashioned trolley. There's a lot of buses, and we took a lot of buses for sure.
I say the main way of getting around this neighborhood is likely the buses.
Yeah.
Because there's many that run through this neighborhood to other parts of Lisbon.
It's if you have a car, it's not hard to get around. I would say it's probably harder to park.
It seems like a lot of people are like parking onto these sidewalks, on the corner of sidewalks, like
in the middle of the street.
In the middle of the street, like sometimes, it's parking in the neighborhood feels a little crazy, honestly.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect my car to be pristine.
No.
For very long if you lived out there. I think there's probably a lot of dings that are going to happen.
Yeah, yeah. So I think if you're getting around this city, you might have a car in this neighborhood. If you don't, then you're usually using buses. Sometimes maybe I think it's the 18E is like the old trolley. The 15E is the more modern one that's going to take you into the center of Lisbon or out to Belém. And then the other thing is you have a couple of train stations in this area. So there's the Alcântara Mar train station, and that's the one that, it's kind of just like a tiny platform, but it's the one that either goes to Cais de Sodré into Lisbon or out to Cascais. You can catch the train out there. And then the other one is Alcântara Terra, which is a little bit further north of that. And that's the one that goes into kind of more the northern part of the city and up to like the Parque de Nações area, Orient, like train station up there.
It's a little hard to get to.
Yeah, and it doesn't run on the weekends, which is really weird, but
which means you can run on the tracks on the weekend.
Right, exactly. So that's a great way. Please don't do that. So yeah, transportation in this area is, you've got a lot of options, but you don't have a subway. So
yeah. So if you're traveling from the airport to Alcântara, you should probably take an Uber or a taxi.
I wouldn't take a subway. I wouldn't take a bus. I would take a car.
Right,
to the
and
airport.
Bolt and Uber is fairly reasonable here as well. So let's bullet point the pros and cons of living or staying in Alcântara.
Okay. So
pros.
I think number one, it's close to the water. Some people really want to be close to the water. So if that's you, this could be a good neighborhood for you. Yeah.
It's also a very neighborhoody vibe, which, it feels like a lot of locals are there. It's easy to feel like you're amongst the Portuguese, that you are living the Portuguese city life. Okay, some of the cons, it's pretty hilly. Even the cobblestones can be slippery too. I think my feet slipped going up some of these steep streets a couple times.
I think also like a con is that it doesn't have a subway that goes out there. So it, just doesn't feel as connected to other parts of the city in that way if you're wanting to get into like the center of Lisbon a lot.
Yeah, we got pretty used to taking the bus into town.
Yeah.
And then the subway or something from there. So.
Yeah.
Also, something we experience in a lot of parts of the city, it's under the flight path. It's a little bit further out than where we currently live. So when the planes do fly over, it's still loud, but not quite as loud.
Yeah, you hear it, but
And because I think of all the buildings in the hills, it's very brief. It's
yeah.
maybe 15 seconds tops
Yeah,
of hearing a plane.
it didn't bother us when we were there at all.
No.
And then I would say the other thing that might be annoying, depending on how sensitive you are to noise, is the hum of the bridge. It never affected me when we were there. Like you
Yeah.
said, you didn't even notice, but I think if you pay attention to it or
Once you
close
notice,
by,
you can't get it out of your head.
exactly, and so it might drive you crazy if you're
But it
sensitive
is
to
a
that kind of
constant.
thing.
It's a constant hum, as opposed to like loud freeway noise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think those are the cons of the neighborhood. Now, obviously, we're totally, I mean,
This is our experience.
this is our experience. I would, what I would love to know in the comments what you know about the neighborhood, if you like it, like,
Right.
any history that you know of the neighborhood, because we're still learning ourselves.
Yeah. And if you,
so,
and honestly, I would say that if you're considering it, I think we would have moved there had it not been for the transportation
yeah.
factor.
So let's actually get on to, I think we should each rate this neighborhood on a scale of 1 to 10. So, like, for you, maybe on a scale of 1 to 10 corks. What do you think of this neighborhood? For me, on a scale of 1 to 10 tiles, what do I think of this neighborhood?
I would say, especially having just revisited it, it's like an oito y media. It's like an 8.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
So why do you say that?
Honestly, I could see, even with the kids there, like sending the kids at school and then going to rooftop bars during the day, which is actually what we did. If it had a metro stop there, it would be like close to a 10. The people are lovely. Yeah, I love the vibe of Alcântara. So yeah, I think it's an amazing place. I highly recommend it. What about you? You're gonna rate it.
I thought about this.
I'll tell you you're wrong.
I thought about this ahead of time, so I was prepared. But I rated it. I love this neighborhood too. Really, like, what knocks it down a couple of points for me is just that it is not
dog poop. Transportation.
The transportation is just not as connected.
You have to live with me.
It's not as connected to the rest of the city, and that's a big deal for me. Especially because I get motion sick, so riding on buses or whatever is sometimes a little iffy for me, but subways are really easy. And I also like to walk places, and the fact that it's just not easy to walk to, like, kind of other places close by in Lisbon that are more in the center, like, does, put it down a notch for me. But, I think I love the neighborhood too. Like, it feels so family friendly. Like, I love the vibe. I love that it's, close to some cool stuff. And I could totally see living there if it weren't for the transportation issue, and also not having as many maybe big grocery stores, because I'm somebody that likes to cook a lot. So I like to go to a grocery store, get everything I need. I loved going to that Pingo, but it was a little bit of a walk from the place we were staying.
And there are probably fewer specialty grocery stores as well.
Yeah, there could be. So it was just, walking to that Pingo felt like a lot to do when we did it. So I think, it would really depend on where we lived in the neighborhood. But 8 out of 10, I still really love that neighborhood. To wrap this up.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
You l'amour it.
I l'amour it. But yeah, we hope that you like this video. This is the first one we have done in this series on neighborhoods, but we want to go and explore more of the neighborhoods too. So if there is a certain neighborhood you think we should go hit up, let us know in the comments too, so we can add that to the top of our list to try to get to and learn more about and explore, and then put a video out on.
All right, we're Kyle and Cork. This is our video series that you've been watching. Thank you for enjoying it. I know you have.
Bye.